Get started here. Some of you are trying to get logged in and create an account. It's not essential for this 50 minutes if you don't have the world. I just want to make sure that if you want to play around with some things that I show you, you can. I'm also just going to preface here that I'm sharing some features of Minecraft education, but 95% of what I'm going to show you outside just a few little features can be used on the regular Minecraft, or if you use the old education Minecraft, or Pocket Edition, or Xbox. So I'll let you know a couple features that are strictly on Minecraft education, but it's only maybe like 5 slides in this whole thing. So whatever your platform or element might be, this will all work. So I don't want you to take off running if you're like, well, I don't have Minecraft education, I just have the regular stuff. It'll still work, the same idea still apply. All the stuff is here. It's also on my website, thecoffeeforthebrain.com, Minecraft, in case we get going, you want to explore other things. It's all right there for you to maybe go back to it and check things out. Real quick, and we can maybe just shout this out if you'd rather do that than text. I just want to gain a sense of the room. I don't want to insult your intelligence if I'm loaded with Minecraft experts and tell you what Minecraft is, but I also don't want to speak way over your head if most of you are brand new to Minecraft and just need to get a sampling of it. So I want to be respectful to this audience. I have way more information than what I'll ever cover. I can cover in 50 minutes, so I can adapt and move things on the fly. So I just want to get a pulse on what it is that you guys want to know, or what you're hoping to gain from these basically next 45 minutes. So you can do a couple things. If you want to use your phone, and you can text the Maurer 446 to that number. You can put your answer there. If you just want to shout it out, that's also fine. I don't want to spend forever on here, but I just want to know what you want or what your experience is, so I can adjust things accordingly. So whatever you want to do. Or how many, maybe, while you're texting, how many use Minecraft currently in the classroom? Okay, a little bit. How many use it at home or entertainment, or their kids, or, all right. So the things that this is going to be covering today, kind of the gist, I've got a lot of things, I'll show you the agenda while I type some things in here, is just looking at the realities of using Minecraft in education. The question that I posed is, will it really enhance learning? I'm not here to tell you that it's the end-all be-all going to solve all your problems, because it won't, but I'll give you the ideas and things that could make it beneficial to your class. We'll give you lots of examples and ideas, kind of how we are rolling things out, and we just run into a big snag really in our school, because we just rolled out Chromebooks, and Minecraft education is not on Chromebooks, so now we're kind of trying to figure out things as well. Give you a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things in the resource guide and things like that for you to jump into, and then talk about things that are on the horizon, things that are coming, and all that good stuff. So, looks like, the classroom, is it doable? That's a great question. It's kind of the overview, which is great, how to use it. So we're going to cover a lot of these. Another great thing, Minecraft after the Microsoft transition. Cost. We will talk about the cost, because the cost sucks. And I email them every single day and tell them how stupid it is. And there's a lot of teachers doing that, and I think it's going to blow up in their face. So we'll talk about that. It's not going to break the bank, but it's also not going to help a lot of schools, which is why the other options are really good as well. So what it is and how to implement. Great. So you keep adding this. When we get some time to explore, I'll jump back and make sure I try to cover all these as we go through. Details, cost, good. Awesome. All great things. So real quick, we've talked about this. Is it going to improve student learning? My name is Maurer from Bettendorf Middle School. About 1,100 kids. I'm an instructional coach now. Ran our gifted program before that. It was 6th grade social studies and computer way before that. And basically my role is to help bring our makerspace and project-based learning to the real-world audience. So I spend most of my time taking kids out of their core classes to help bring their learning to life. We don't sit in coaching cycles and all that good stuff. And it's amazing. So Minecraft is one of many, many tools in which I help teachers kind of bring, or students bring their learning to life through various methods to their classroom. I am labeled a Microsoft Big Data expert, so I've got some training and things with Minecraft, which is exciting. But I mean, as I talked earlier, we have Chromebooks for Google School, and trying to make all that work as we go through stuff. So here's a couple of things, as well as weave in those questions that you have. Build the foundation, build a culture, the brick by brick examples, and then get some time to play if we have time. If not, you have plenty of other time on your own to get going. So let's start. A lot of you looked at a lot of this overview. Some of you, only a few of you had your hands up. So I'm going to run through this vocab really quick. In Minecraft, everything is operated through blocks, which most of you probably figured out is 1 meter blocks. It's how everything operates except for a few unique pieces such as bridges and so forth. But everything is created through this pixel block. When you load up, you get a world. And this is where your students operate. This is where they bring things to life. It doesn't go on infinitely. And you can download or import worlds that other people have created, other teachers have created. And so there are people that have recreated the entire Shakespeare universe. You can download Pyramids of Giza and explore all of Egypt. You can have a flat world. All these things are available for you to download and bring to your classroom. There are also things called biomes. In your worlds, there's different elements of your world. Snow and water and mountains and flatlands and you name it, they're all in there. You can create these ahead of time and build these up for you know exactly what you want kids to do. Or like most people, they start a new world and it seeds or automatically generates the world for you. And then kids can go in, build, destroy, destruct, and recreate what it is that they need. A tick, there's 24,000 ticks in a Minecraft day, which is equivalent to 20 minutes of real time. So 1 day in Minecraft is 20 minutes of the real world, 10 minutes of sunlight, about a minute and a half transition from sunset and sunrise, and then 7 minutes of darkness. In creativity mode, it doesn't really matter. That's where most people spend their education time. But in survival mode, that's when the creepers and all the bad things come out and try to wipe out your people. And so you can manipulate time and stuff, and we'll show you that here in a little bit. But that's how the timing operation works in Minecraft. Players, you have your players and your skins. With Minecraft education, you can actually bring in all your players all your students into one world, and I'll show that to you here in a minute. Your players are 1.8 blocks high to give you an idea of where they are in comparison, and they can cover about 4.3 blocks when they walk or get running to move things through. So they try to build it and make it as all realistic as possible. Survival mode, not a lot of people use this for the education realm, but you can go through and try to survive. Can you build your house? Can you farm? Do all these types of things. I have seen teachers use the survival mode, but 90% of what I've seen is teachers in the creative mode, eliminating the creepers and all that kind of stuff. Creative is the free play, the wide open vastness of Minecraft, which you see most of the time. Griefing, this is what the kids love. By griefing, blowing things up, destroying, demolishing, is a very real reality in your Minecraft world. So teaching kids how to treat one another. That digital citizenship comes through in Minecraft quite well, so you don't destroy things. With the Minecraft education, there are ways to prevent this from happening. But this is also a very real thing. As well as if you have a biome and you need to destroy it and rebuild, there's those options there as well. So some key ideas with this Minecraft. It is game-based learning. It is not gamification. Two very different things when we're talking here. And so we're getting them into this world here to collaborate. It's really the 4 C's. Critical thinking, communication, working together to bring their learning to life. I think a lot of times the misconception is that Minecraft is a solo event, one person doing things. It is very much a social network for a lot of kids. If you ever watch them play on Xbox and computers, they're on servers and they're typing and they're texting and they got their headsets. In the classroom, a lot of the same thing, but now you're working to build something cohesively together. And so we know that a lot of kids play video games. And how can we take those elements that they like and bring it to the classroom by still covering our content and standards, but at the same time not ruining the game when the kids don't want to play it as well. So as we go through the Minecraft Education Edition, the key things here is it's a layer on top of the actual Minecraft game. It's built on top. What Microsoft has tried to do is eliminate all the Java codes. If you ever played Minecraft before, you wanted to bring in different skins for the characters or new worlds, you had to know something about mods. The teachers had to try to figure out how to host servers, and it just was too much, and it intimidated a lot of people. Microsoft Education Edition levels all that out. You don't need a server, you don't need mods, you don't need any of that. It's already built in. You just click, you play, and you go. So it's really nice. That's the beautiful part of this. If you're someone that's really tech savvy and you don't mind doing mods and servers, you may or may not like this part. But for a lot of teachers wanting to get this into their classrooms, this is huge. A lot of student collaboration features and classroom management, which I'll show you here in just a second. So these features that I'm about to show are only in the Minecraft Education Edition. And this is what's built on top of the Minecraft engine. One of the things, this summer I was working, or not working, but I had a chance to visit with the Minecraft team. And there was all these things that were going out, suggestions, what teachers wanted. They wanted all these basic rules and restrictions, way to ban everything. And they flat out refused to do that. They know that the minute it starts to feel like school, kids are done, and the Minecraft will be a bust. But there's also things that can help make teachers' life a little more smoother and easier when we get working. So a couple of these things, we're going to talk about these quickly, and then kind of get you into the nuts and bolts of the game. The first one is this, the simple, secure sign-in. Now, it may be a blessing or a curse for your school, but the Minecraft Edition does require an Office 365 email account. Those are free, there's no cost. That's one more thing that your school may have to deal with. For us, that's something that we're dealing with right now as we've rolled over to Google and Chromebooks and everything that's not Minecraft. So what's that look like? Right now, what I have in my makerspace, what typically happens now to smooth the transition as we've jumped to Chromebooks is I have about 60 generic accounts that my IT guys created. And then when they come to the makerspace with me, I can log them in through generic accounts. So it's not one more password that kids have to create. I don't know if that's something in your school that you're able to do or not. And if not, then those other options of just regular Minecraft might be something for you to explore. But what this allows it to do, it allows it so the kids can work together and the teachers can see things. Easy class collaboration. The whole classroom can play in the world together. You don't need to load a server, create servers, host servers. All that stuff is out. You just get the kids logged in and it automatically funnels them to wherever it is that you want them to go. And then they have a Friends tab so they can network. So we use the Friends tab a lot for kids and working in groups. So if we're trying to recreate our school to scale, and we've got people working on the outside team can connect and collaborate through the Friends tab, our interior design working that way, things of that nature. The other thing that's nice is education skins. This is what kids love. They love to modify. Have you ever seen your own children or kids play? They like to download all sorts of skins and decorate their people. There's a whole slew of them, but they're all school safe, and they can't actually bring in the ones that aren't appropriate because there aren't those out there. But there's enough there to make them at least somewhat happy. This one is huge. This is one of the two of my favorite features of the education one. They have put in a camera. What the camera allows kids to do is document their work. And so as you're going through, you don't have to watch every single kid's creation. They have this built in that can set up a camera that can take pictures of their work.
Pictures or movies?
Pictures at this time. What this will allow them to do, and it sends them to this next feature, which is a portfolio. It creates a portfolio for them of their work, and they can add text and captions, and they can label everything that they want, and they can export this out into whatever you want. You can export it to your blog, to your Google site, to a PowerPoint, and they can document their learning this way. This is a nice feature. We just recently did this with 6th grade math, We're trying just a real simple area perimeter activity with our teachers. The kids had to build their grid. They took a picture. They had to explain how it met the standard in there, and then boom, sent it out. And the teacher, who was not real comfortable with Minecraft yet, she couldn't quite figure out how to navigate, but she could understand an email with an image with all the stuff in there. And that one is super, super nice. They're working on video. They're also working on now, like, I'm sure if you've taken like a panoramic video and loaded it to Facebook, there's now the algorithm where they try to make that 360. Microsoft is working on trying to create that where they can take a 360 panoramic and kind of show the whole world. It's not there yet, but those are things that they're working on. The other thing that's nice on the teacher end, it doesn't affect kid play, is a map, so you can see where everybody is. And you can keep track of them. And you can click on them and portal right to them. This is a feature that's not in the regular Minecraft unless you get some mods in. So this part is a really nice feature as you're just trying to make sure people are where they should be. The other one is chalkboards. There's 3 different sizes, and this allows you to post instructions or tutorials or whatever it is that you want within your problem or in your world. So you can pose math problems, you can pose all sorts of challenges that kind of navigate through the world, whatever it is that you've created, or the kids can create these worlds and add these as well. The other one is border blocks. So the reality, in theory, we like to say kids will just be so engaged, they'll never mess around. Kids just love building and making and playing. The reality is, in a class of 30 times 6 periods a day, there is that ding-dong every single class period that's going to push the limits. They're there. So one thing you can do is put in border blocks where you can kind of trap them in where they can't escape. If you're going in for one quick activity and this is what you want them to try to solve, this is where they're housed. So that part's nice. You just can't go saunter off and go do whatever. And so this is a nice feature, especially if you're on the teacher end trying to build a world for them to get in and do some challenges and problems. The other one is this allow and deny blocks. And so you can layer these down below into your world where kids can't blow up the blocks. We talked about griefing earlier. You can layer these, build your world around, and they can't destroy those blocks. They can't throw some dynamite out there or create a pretty clever redstone contraption and just destroy the whole world. You can layer these underneath where that can't happen. This is nice, especially when you have kids that are brand new to Minecraft. So you're trying to navigate. Right now we're building a maze. You get kids to understand volume and area and perimeter. They got to solve problems and kind of work through this maze. So they don't get so caught where they think they have to go dig and destroy through stuff and think there's some hidden chamber that the bald ugly guy in the school is trying to confuse them. You can keep them down kind of somewhat of a guided path to get to these problems. The non-player characters, these are people you can set out to emerge and interact with. And so in the tutorial world, if you get a chance to download that, there's these non-player characters that tell you what to do along the way. Here, you stand next to a sign, here's what I want you to do. Go do this. And so you can build these characters in. In the regular Minecraft, you have to mod these people in. And the other one, this goes against kind of the whole essence of Minecraft, but they're also very well aware that teachers just need help. And so in regular Minecraft, there was no instruction. There's no guidebook. You just went to the world and you had to figure it out. You knew you had to kind of survive the night. They put together a tutorial world that just walks you through how to move, how to jump, how to build, how to craft. This is very helpful. It doesn't take real long to go through. And so if it does download and when you get back to your school you want to try it, it'll get you well on your way. If we have time, we'll kind of have you go through this. It's also good for those kids that have never played. Because much as we think every kid is savvy in this Minecraft world, they're not. There are those kids that have never played. So those are the features of Minecraft education version that exists. Questions on any of that before I move into some other ideas in terms of those things that is showcased? All right. The other thing that's on there's tons of lessons. There's teachers. There is, I think, about 180 schools that got to pilot this for the last 4 or 5 months, and they've created a lot of things that you can just use. You can download the worlds. So when I talk about downloading all of ancient Egypt and exploring the temples and the pyramids, you can do that, or the Temple of Artemis. These types of things are already there. You load them up, send the kids there, and away you go. We've talked already, Minecraft education doesn't work on the Chromebooks, and so you do have to have Windows 10 or MacBook. So those aren't your options. If you happen to have an Xbox in your school, a lot of elementary schools seem to have that, or iPads, you can use the Pocket Edition. So my answer to will this help education, help improve student learning, the answer is yes, but only if used properly. It is not going to solve the problems. It can't completely take over everything that you've done. You've got to figure out how to kind of weave and mix it in within your lessons. And so by mixing, what I mean is this. I think so many times we go to conferences or we go and get these PD or schools buy this new software and we say this is going to take care of the problem. We've never defined actually what the problem is. And so if you're thinking about using Minecraft, what's the problem in your classroom that a tool like this could potentially solve? That's how you have to think about it. Because otherwise, if we don't build that base foundation, it's why there's so many teachers are stressed. And I share this time and time again. You just get layers after layers after layers. And teachers in my building right now are beyond stressed with all the stuff on their plate. And what happens if you don't build that good foundation, this is what can happen. This is a 3D print that's gone terribly wrong.
Oh my gosh.
But this is what happens. So I'm not here, you just don't jump in and go, this is going to do it because it sounds like a good tool. What is it that you need? Is there content that kids aren't excited about? Or you need a new way to assess their learning? Or they're not engaged in this kind of part? It might be the answer. I always think how smart the smart boards made children. You've seen this time and time again in various speakers, but I think it holds a lot of value. We've got smart boards in every single room. Probably the last 5 or 6 years, I don't know that I've ever seen a kid touch one. And it's defied the purpose. It's still teacher-driven. Minecraft can get them in there learning and doing as we go through. And this is what we have to try to think away at things and move away from, the packets. So what you're looking at in the middle of the assignment notebook of my son, who had to write down the things he had to do for school in elementary just a couple years ago. And it was just like, no, not more packets. Or I think about last night, he forgot he had homework. And so he's up late, and I'm obviously giving him the riot act for how come you just now realize this, and that whole rant. But, well, what's your homework? And he was coloring a map. And spending about 2 hours, because if he doesn't have the right shade of yellow, the right shade of blue, he's going to lose points. We're missing out here. So games can help. And so we polled, and we got responses from about 800 kids from around the world on why do you play Minecraft. Some of the key ones here is that you can build anything and do crazy things. That unlimited, that student voice and choice is huge. The other one, it's amazing, there's so many people using it in different ways. This is the beauty of it. We were part of a program, and we were probably the worst school in it last year, and we worked with 8 schools from around the world to rebuild our schools, or to design our dream schools. And it was amazing what these schools were doing in these other countries. And it was a great ego check for kids at Bettendorf Middle School to realize maybe we're not as top dog in everything as we like to think we are. Because our ultimate school was not anywhere near as close to looking nice compared to these other schools. But it allowed them to engage and interact and talk with these kids in other countries to figure out what in the world are you doing and how did you do that and how did you come up with that to make it happen. The other ones, you still have those boys, the diamond weapons and armor, they get to go kill creepers and zombies. Those are the things that get them excited. They want to get in there and do those things, to build mansions and build roller coasters. There's more roller coaster YouTube videos online than probably more than anything else. I like what this girl said, that you forget about everything and play a game and I get to do whatever I want. And I think if we can build those times in a day where they can kind of zone out and just build. So something that I heard just last week, there's a teacher, and what he does is on Friday, he shares his lesson plan for the next week. And he allows the kids to pick which activity could Minecraft help showcase the learning or demonstrate learning. So the kids get to choose how Minecraft is used. And they only get like 30 minutes a week. So it's not like they get the whole week to build. It's little chunks and go, this is how we want to do it. And I thought that was a pretty clever thing. And so the other question we asked kids was, if you had Minecraft in your classroom, what would you want teachers to know? This is really long, but I think the key here is that it's an eternal struggle. This is a really terrible looking slide. Something that seems cool, you know, that teachers find something that seems cool because it's technology. And in the end, it becomes a lot more work than what it's worth. And so that's something that you're going to have to evaluate in your thing with Minecraft. It's something we can jump in and get going and make things happen. You know, I like this boy here. If they look concentrated or frustrated, that's good. And if they're happy, excited, or surprised, that's also good. You see this wide range of emotions. What we have found is those kids that are kind of the buttheads in your class can all of a sudden magically become leaders. And some of your high-end kids who have never played Minecraft, it's not that they're not smart enough, they pick it up rather quickly, all of a sudden have to learn from someone else for the first time and kind of take that step down. So it's an interesting mix. And it's always cool to see the boys always think they're the best at it. And if you just give the girls, a lot of times haven't played, a little bit of time, they're so much better at the game. They just understand management, organization, and that's always a nice transition. So, let me skip through some of these. The key here is not to schoolize it. And that's probably the hardest thing, where you don't want the scripted thing, where you're getting a cookie cutter recipe with the same 12 projects, and it has to be this point value, and these color bricks, and everything turns out the same. It's not going to work. It's going to be a complete bust. But I also realize we can't just have wide open and just say go do whatever, because we've got a lot of things on our plate that we have to be able to prove and do. So we have to build this culture, and this is where I think Minecraft gets in. We can help build this agency and move into these new platforms of learning. I was trying to learn. I'm far from a Minecraft expert. I know enough to get around and maybe be a little bit dangerous, but my son is an expert, and he goes through and does everything for me. So I was trying to build out a lesson for a math teacher, and he's the one that did it. I put him on the controls, and he did the building, and I did the boring teacher narration talk for the teachers to show them how it can be done. That part is amazing. And even in the classroom, allowing the students to be that expert. You see the role reversal, where the teachers now are learning. They're almost a student, and students are the teachers. But everybody's engaged in the process at the same time. So what's nice is if you can pull up your teacher computer while you're navigating on the big screen, and it always seems to happen. The kids kind of laugh and you're trying to do something you can't figure it out. Like, yeah, Miss Mel, you don't know how to do that. No, I don't. And they come up and go 10,000 miles an hour. Okay, show that to me again. You know, and so there's that nice little feature there of communication. And so it allows people to be curious and playful, risk takers, persistent, share, and be treated like a person. And I like this. There's a guy that creates a ton of Minecraft work and gears it for teachers and students. And it's PB Jelly Game, the Peanut Butter and Jelly Game. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's the one, his team has built the Shakespeare world. He's rebuilt the entire thing of Rome and all these worlds for you. But he always says the 4 C's should actually be the 5 C's. And he always emphasizes the common core, and not to get debated whether that's good or bad, but just to remind people that we can hit our standards while also gaming and learning, and it can be the kind of the best of both worlds. So how do we start? I think you have to start small. Super, super easy, super simple. So when I worked with a 6th grade math teacher last week, it was a flat world with literally a 4x4 block grid. And all we did was start there. And kids had to figure out what's the perimeter and area of this grid. Basically, we're trying to show them that it's a little more intriguing than maybe the little tiny box on their textbook of a deck or pen that they're trying to solve. And from there, she could see how we use it as a conversation piece. And then we moved it into kids creating their own and designing stuff with parameters and things like that. So it's baby steps, really simple things. We talked about science ideas, and I've got images. I need to get a couple more loaded. Something to just share today. We've done the body part system. We've given each kid or group of kids a body system to navigate, and they've recreated a whole human body in Minecraft and made a video showcasing how it all goes through. You know, with the lava in the stomach, with the stomach acid, and the teeth, and the chomping, and you know, all that great stuff. It's not for everyone, so a lot of times what we do is make it an option. Here's one way in which you can showcase your learning. Not everybody must do Minecraft. And so we've woven that in that way as just one place where kids can go through and do that. We've done the same thing. We were designing prototypes for we have a new park being built in our city. And so the kids had to create their adventure course in Minecraft to explain all the physics behind it, everything like that as a prototype, and that's how they pitched it into the city board and the park board on different things. Then they had to weave it in, and then they had other stuff to go along with it. Other ones, the perimeter area value is super easy because you have blocks. It's a 1 meter block, and so you can scale everything very, very easy. The screencasting of their own work is huge. That's student choice, explaining their voice, how to do these things. We've seen these things here. Is another interesting one if you want to involve money. Each block, like wood, is $1, stone is $3. What are you going to go through and build and design? So even if you do something like build your ideal room, and some kids will take this and they'll build a classroom or a school that's 10 miles long, and then you go through and add the cost, and they realize that actually that's the worst engineering idea ever, which is why squares or rectangles are so popular, because it's the cheapest way to build. We've built Jurassic Park. I'm talking dinosaurs in elementary. We've done the same thing with zoos. Other things. This one here was one I launched. So as teachers, we're a project-based learning school, and we have a teacher exhibition every fall. We just showcase our projects to the other teachers. We were building a world here. This is for ancient China, and the whole thing was to study the whole culture. So they had to go through and follow this path. They had craft and like fireworks and all these different things and understand the elements. And so this was our teacher exhibition day. Pixel art is huge. So my son likes making pixel art. This is his Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. But our teachers use this a lot. It's just a simple way to get things building. We'll start with Legos, and then they move into pixel art to design different types of art things. But I think the key is that it starts with you as the teachers. And we can't fit a square peg into a round hole, and so you can't just force it. You have to make sure that there's a reason for it. So you need to ask yourself these things. Could Minecraft make a positive impact on engagement and motivation in your classroom? And then think about one area of your curriculum where you can integrate it. So we're working with social studies teachers right now. What's that one thing that kids struggle with every single year? And that's what we're starting to build our world in. So for us, kids really, really struggle, and our teachers struggle teaching ancient India at 6th grade social studies. It's just the culture, it's just the civilization that doesn't grab their interest like Egypt and Rome and Greece. And so we are trying to devise an interactive world where these kids have to kind of bring all this learning to life. And we don't have the answers yet. We're still in the drawing board of phases of what we want to create, what we want to have available for kids, but that's where we are. The other thing we've done is we've built in a learning contract for any teacher. Anytime a kid thinks they can demonstrate their learning or the proficiency of a standard, they can fill out the form to showcase how Minecraft could be used, and then they come down and work with me and they build it during that class time. So it's just one more option for those kids that want to use it. And then we're working with those teachers to build that in more. We don't have every teacher on board with that idea yet, but we've got enough that it's starting to take off. And that's huge in math and science right now. The kid goes, I can prove this standard in Minecraft. How are you going to do it? I'm going to do this, this, and this. And the teacher says, okay, boom, they're coming down with me and we're making it happen. And so we're starting small and hopefully starting to build those things out as we get going. And so we just talked about those opportunities there. Think about a passive activity. Recreating a book or a world or things that it doesn't really matter as you get going through stuff. The things you got to think about, the plans for building your world, how you're going to tie it into standards. We can't neglect those things. What kind of mode are you going to use? The starting world, you're going to download one, create one, flat one. And then the problem. What are the problems you're going to run into in the planning, building, or managing? And so it's got to start with us. So this is a world that my son plays in, where they engage and have roller coasters and pixel art, and it's a mind-blowing. This is not in Minecraft Education, this is on a different server, but I love watching how they connect. So he likes to get on every day around 4 o'clock, because that's when his friends, I think it's in Australia, can come on the server and they build and connect, and they've got all sorts of things going on. And it's a rather amazing thing to see happen. There's another one with ecosystems, the Salmon Habitat. You can download these worlds, and there's a whole simulation that they can go through. And so let's get into it a little bit. I don't know if any of you have had time to get it downloaded. It may or may not have worked. Anybody get it to download? No? Okay. We got one? All right, so I can show you a little bit here. Are there any questions before I jump into the world? Yeah.
So at your school, you are kind of experimenting with the math and science, right?
Yes.
And some history maybe.
Yep.
But I'm seeing a tie perhaps to language arts and reading. I'm a music teacher, so
you can use you can use Redstone to create music, and you can actually they can create keyboards and synthesizers. So when they walk across, it plays music, and they can create the charts to explain the beat. You can build music. Yeah. So Redstone is you can light it on fire. It's basically coding. It's like circuitry work. You can make anything happen.
Can you demonstrate? Is that something you can show me, or
you can Google. There's just Google like Minecraft music box, and there's like billions.
Yeah, that'll be way more impressive than what I could show you here. That's a good question, though. Other questions or thoughts or ideas that people have?
You said you are going to talk about the cost.
Yeah. So the cost is it's what I just makes me want to throw up. It's $5 a person for the education edition. So take that for your teachers and your students.
Theoretically, you'd only have to buy as many as you would ever use concurrently at one time, or are these individual accounts that can only be used by one person?
Individual accounts.
Oh, jeez.
Is that a year, per year?
No, once you have it for the kid, but that's where so it's linked with the Office their Office 365 account. So my account, unless you can work with your IT guy to finagle stuff, make sure you edit that out of that video. You can somewhat work across, but it's $5. It's the #1 screaming complaint right now. So right now it's free. Right now everything is free up until November 1st, and then the fees kick in. So if you haven't dabbled in it, I would highly encourage you at least to play with it and see if it's something worth investing. My thoughts are going to be that they're going to change that price scheme. I just don't think it's not going to hold. I can't see it holding. Because what we have is I host a server. I can get as many kids as I want. It costs me $27, period. That's all it costs me. It doesn't matter. It's set for life. So $27. Okay, I can just teach my kids how to screenshot as well as use the camera versus $5 a kid. There's features that I like. I think it's the way to go. But I don't mind running servers. But a lot of teachers, you say server and they're done. They shut down. So the beauty of Minecraft education is you log in and you go. The learning curve is minimal.
So $27 for the server, that's just one time, or that?
You buy the. We hostgyury right out. Our district already had the capabilities for servers. We just bought a server license, and we go. Yeah.
So then, you actually use the Minecraft software on like say we're doing a lab machine.
Yeah.
I host a server. I pay that.
And then you just pay for the one-time cost of the regular Minecraft. It's been a while since we did it, and you can just mimic that. It's not a license. It's you can blast it on all your machines. And they just log in through whatever. Now the thing is, you have to have a little bit more control over it. So like in the Minecraft education, they can only access it at school. They can't go home and log in because there is no server. The server is housed within the intranet, so to speak. The server, they can get in with once they have it, they have it. So there's things you can put in, and it's not life or death. And we haven't had any problem. You can control things and keep things out, but you got to be a little more tech savvy, which when you get into that kind of conversation, wipes out a whole lot of people. But yeah.
You have it before November 1st. Will it force you to pay for it after November 1st if you've already have it all?
It won't force you. You'd have to agree to.
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I would do is I would play it and see if it's something that's maybe worth that investment. And for some people they'll say yes, and others they may say no, it's not what I need. I just want the regular one or the pocket edition on iPads. We can do the same thing. All the examples that I shared and all the examples in the handout, and I've got some other links. They're all not on Minecraft education. They're all the previous ones. So we'd like to get into this, but right now, for me, the roadblock isn't so much cost, because my school is willing to do it. We don't have machines, because they're not going to replenish our laptop cards, and our computer labs are gone, because we have Chromebooks. And so now I'm trying to harness the old laptops and see can I keep them, which is a whole nother debacle. They're working on a Chrome edition, a Chromebook edition, but it's just not there.
For the Pocket Edition, is there an education discount or something? Because it's $7 for the app.
Yeah, you'd have to run through your district, however they purchase apps, and you buy things in bulk. I don't know what it is, I don't know how that works, but a lot of those, if you buy, there is.
Well, because I know our school allows the students in the morning to play Minecraft, and that's one thing that's not blocked on through a filter or whatever. And so you can play play the Pocket Edition. Somebody can host a server through their phone, but you have no control whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, and that's the downside. If something were to happen, that lack of control. For the longest time, we had kids. We had a Minecraft club. They rigged everything through their flash drives and just used the school internet and operate that way, which was a little risque because something were to happen, we were all going to be in trouble. That's how we got it. That's what we had to do to show people that there was a value to it. So, but the discount has got to be something. I don't know what it is, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
So, other questions? All right. Well, I'm going to show you a couple things here. I know it's getting close to lunch, and we've got a little bit of time. So when you log into this is the education one. So this is what you would see from the teacher end. Here, there's nobody on, but like back in my school, if I were to run this up in my classroom, I have a list of all my worlds and then my friends, which would actually, in my case, would be my students. And you can do a couple things. You can go here to this new world and create a brand new world. You can call it whatever you want. We'll just call it. And then you can choose your game mode down here, survival, creative. You can get into advanced too, and you can pick these. So when I worked with the 6th grade math teacher, we just chose flat. There's no trees, there's no water, no mountain, it's just green. And that's all it is. Just because we were doing a very simple thing, just trying to do perimeter and area. You can go infinite or old, which is then actually, it doesn't go on forever. And then when you create that, we'll keep it infinite. It's going to seed. You're going to see it's going to generate a world. And no two worlds are ever alike. So you're going to see it build here in front of you. And this is the world. So now I'm in the middle of water here, but and away we go. I know it's a little hard to see. So
You do space bar to go up.
yeah, I want to show you guys a tutorial world, but we got just a little bit of time. The other thing that the Minecraft education has is this tutorial world, and this is, it's good for teachers who are brand new as well as students. And so what this world is you can see here's like my tour guide. It starts off, I've kind of already gone through a little bit, I've done some things. But there's like this golden path right here, and it just walks you through kind of how to go through and do everything. So I'm just going to jump you back up here. And this is where we start with our teachers. So when I do in-service or PD, we ran one on Minecraft and we just went through and played. Because when I say, use the WASD keys to move, they're like, what? And T for inventory, whatever. And so you just work through, and you can see these are those chalkboards. And so they just work through at their own pace. There's no pressure, and it goes through and just kind of has them go through all the basics. And you just kind of follow this path. It's all built. So the reason I show that with you is it's what you can do. So we're trying to create these kind of worlds to hit our standards. We're kind of guiding kids. get a little bit of working knowledge, and then it will lead them to this vastness where they can go through and create and demonstrate their learning. And this is a key feature that I think as you're starting to go through and play, especially for a lot of you that haven't used Minecraft before, it'll work you through how everything operates. And so you can see here it's going to talk to you about swimming, and then the space bar to go to the surface, and you just kind of keep going through this whole kind of navigation of systems. This here is kind of like your inventory. I don't have much right now because it's a tutorial, but you can craft and build all sorts of things, axes and machines and fireworks, whatever it might be. The other thing is you can go through, and this is what the kids get really savvy at, you can start to, there's shortcut codes or hotkeys to do a variety of things. So when it gets dark out, you know, you can go through and actually just go to time and go to 0. Oh, got time set. And so now when I get out of here, I'm back at the beginning of the day. So if it was dark time, we bring it back to sunshine. So this is where I think the value can start to be. The other things, I know we just got a couple minutes, and I know you guys also want to get to lunch. In this guidebook, which is linked into the website, I've got a ton of things that are coming. I just didn't get a chance to load up. I have a lot of videos of what our kids have done, as well as projects from around the world. So I'll make sure I get a couple music ones for you. But all these things that are in there to kind of get you going, to thinking about potentially using Minecraft. The biggest thing that I can say is I can show features and demo all day long, but you've got to get in and play. It's what you got to do. Don't be scared. It's amazing how much kids aren't intimidated to go through, but then when I do, even when I went work with my staff, it's almost like their fingers froze, and they're terrified to do anything in the world. You can't ruin it. You can't destroy it. And in order to understand if it could be a benefit to you, you've got to get in and play, and you got to dive in. And time again, we just ask the kids. They're the ones that can show you everything. So, if nothing else out of this presentation, I hope you at least dive into Minecraft, whatever platform you have, and explore it and start to think about, could it be something that can benefit you and your students to enhance that learning. And this is going to we've got a ton of things I need to load. I just ran out of time getting them all in there. But we've got projects from around the world. I'll get you other teachers to connect with that are doing projects that you can get their ideas, where to get the worlds, the shortcuts, all that good stuff will all be kind of coming out here soon. We got about a minute and a half. If there are any questions, things that I didn't cover that you want covered here before I set you free? I mean, ideally, this needs to almost be a 2-hour reset now instead of the next hour playing and doing it and walking around. I mean, that's the unfortunate piece of a 15-minute session, to get you diving in there. If you do jump on and play between now and the end of the conference tomorrow and have questions or help and you see me, don't be afraid to snag me, and we'll sit down and play and navigate and do the world. Other than that, thank you for your time. Hope you gained something. Hope you get in there and enjoy the rest of your conference.